Imagine you're hungry. Not I skip breakfast hungry. I mean the kind of hungry that makes your stomach hurt. Now imagine there are no supermarkets, no farms, no restaurants, no refrigerators, not even fire. So, what would you eat? It's a strange question because we usually imagine early humans carrying spears, roasting giant animals over campfires. But for hundreds of thousands of years, there were no campfires, no cooked meat, no warm soup, no bread, nothing sizzled. So, what kept our ancestors alive long enough to become us? The answer is far stranger than most people realize. And somewhere along the way, one tiny discovery completely rewrote the story of humanity. We'll come back to that. If you walked into Africa 2 million years ago, you'd probably die within a few days. Not because of lions. Although, yes, the lions wouldn't help. You'd die because you wouldn't know what to eat. Every bush could be poisonous. Every berry could be deadly. Every mushroom could be your last meal. Our ancestors faced this problem every single day. There were no recipe books. No parents saying, "Don't eat that." Someone had to figure everything out the hard way. And let's just say, some experiments had unfortunate results. Think about that for a second. Human knowledge may have been built on thousands of accidental food poisonings. Not exactly the scientific method we'd recommend today. So what was actually on the menu? Surprisingly, almost everything. Scientists believe early humans were incredible opportunists. If it was edible, they tried it. Fruits, leaves, seeds, roots, flowers, eggs stolen from nests, insects, honey, lizards, shellfish, even tiny rodents. It wasn't glamorous. It was survival. Imagine spending 3 hours searching for food, only to celebrate finding a handful of berries. That's not a snack. That's winning the lottery. But here's where things get weird. Many people think ancient humans were powerful hunters from the beginning. Not exactly. For a very long time, they were more like professional thieves. Instead of killing huge animals themselves, they often waited. Lions made the kill. Hyenas took their share. Then, only after the predators left, humans rushed in to collect whatever remained. Picture someone arriving at a buffet after hundreds of guests have already eaten. Not ideal. But if you're starving, leftovers suddenly look amazing. Archaeologists have found stone tools with tiny cut marks on fossil bones. The interesting part? Sometimes the tooth marks from lions are underneath the cuts. That means the lions ate first. Humans came second. Our ancestors weren't always kings of the food chain. Sometimes they were just very patient scavengers. Kind of humbling, isn't it? But there was a huge problem. Raw meat is tough, really tough. Your jaw gets tired. Your stomach works overtime. Digesting it takes enormous energy. And that's only half the story. Because our ancestors weren't just eating raw meat. They were chewing raw roots, hard nuts, fibrous plants. Everything required effort. Some anthropologists estimate early humans spent 5 or even 6 hours every day simply chewing. Imagine your full-time job being chewing. Dentists would have loved prehistoric business. Here's another surprise. One of humanity's greatest food sources wasn't meat. It was insects. Yes, bugs, termites, grubs, ant larvae. Not exactly a 5-star restaurant. But insects are packed with protein and healthy fats. They're easy to catch, and they don't run very fast. Honestly, if calories are the goal, nature invented tiny protein bars millions of years before humans did. Then there was honey. Finding honey wasn't easy. Wild bees protected it fiercely, but ancient humans kept coming back. Why? Because honey is one of the richest natural energy sources on Earth. Some researchers believe humans have loved sweet foods for millions of years. That craving you feel for dessert? It might be far older than civilization itself. Maybe your sweet tooth isn't your fault after all. You can blame evolution. Convenient, isn't it? But something still didn't add up. If humans were eating all these foods, why were their brains suddenly getting bigger? Brains are expensive. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy today. Growing an even larger brain should have required even more fuel. Where did all that extra energy come from? Scientists debated this question for decades. Then they found a possible answer, and it changes everything. Fire. Not simply for warmth, not for protection, for cooking. This wasn't just another invention. It was a biological revolution. Cooking breaks down food before your body has to. Meat becomes softer. Plants become easier to digest. More calories become available. Less chewing, less digestion, more energy. Think about that for a second. Cooking is like having your food partially digested before it even enters your mouth. That's an incredible advantage. Here's where things become even stranger. Some scientists believe cooking literally changed the shape of our bodies. Our teeth became smaller, our jaws became weaker, our intestines became shorter because they no longer needed to process extremely tough raw food all day. In other words, fire didn't just change dinner, it changed us. You can still see the evidence every time you smile. And the changes didn't stop there. Campfires created something completely new. Free time. Instead of chewing for hours, people could sit, talk, laugh, tell stories, teach children, plan hunts, share ideas. Maybe language itself became richer around those glowing fires. Nobody knows for sure, but imagine generations gathering every evening around dancing flames. The fire wasn't only cooking food, it was cooking culture. Without cooking, would cities ever exist? Would books, music, science, your smartphone? It sounds ridiculous, but maybe not. If humans had spent most of every day searching for food and chewing it, there would have been little time left for everything else. Civilization may have begun with a simple meal. So what did humans eat before fire changed everything? Almost anything they could survive eating. Raw plants, raw meat, insects, honey, eggs, roots, whatever nature offered. It wasn't a diet. It was a daily gamble. Every meal was an experiment. Every bite carried risk. Yet somehow, generation after generation, those experiments slowly transformed a curious ape into the species watching this video today, which is an incredible thought, because every restaurant you've ever visited, every family dinner, every birthday cake, every midnight snack can trace its story back to one hungry ancestor staring at a world without fire, wondering exactly the same thing you wondered at the beginning. What can I eat? Sometimes the smallest question changes the entire history of humanity.